Hello everyone. Well, this is day 10 and I actually know what is inside this one because I've looked. But when I looked, I didn't actually know what was inside. I will explain. I didn't recognise what these dies were. I had a look, tipped them out. I was thinking I'll start to do a video, but I had to stop because I hadn't got a clue what they were, didn't know what I was doing with them. So this is what I was presented with. 3 little dies. And I thought, is that a volcano or what is it? And I cut some out, went down to my husband, showed him. I said, what do you think these are? And he said, is it crazy paving? Cheese? He didn't know. So I emailed Gummiapan and the answer came back. They're rocks. I can see they're rocks now. They look like rocks now to me, but I didn't know at the time. It's funny how you just can't see things. So with the idea of rocks, I knew what they were rocks. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to make kind of a cave, and I wanted to have a dinosaur. Where the idea for a dinosaur came from, I have no idea, but that's what I fancied. So I thought if I used this little die, which is a framelit, I could make it shorter and make it an aperture in my front panel, make it smaller, make it shorter, and then I could kind of surround the outside of the cave entrance with rocks and just put a little dinosaur by the side. That's my idea. So we'll see where we go. First thing first, let me do my panel. This is my card. I'm hoping it's going to fit onto this. We will see. I'll put that somewhere. So say safe. It's behind me if I can't remember it in a little minute. Right. First thing first, cut the panel down to size. So here's my framelit that I use for cutting a panel. I'll just cut the panel out. Right. Oh dear. There we go. Now, here's my panel. Now, what I want to do is to, as I say, put a little cave. I've got a little dinosaur here. I don't know who made him. Don't know where he came from. So my idea is to have a cave like that and the dinosaur just kind of standing in front of it. But I don't want the cave as tall as that. I want it to about kind of there. Quite, just big enough for him to fit into. So let's do the aperture first. I'm going to start from the bottom. It's the position I want it in. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape on there, if I can find it. Oh, crikey. There's a new one here. Had a big pack from Sticks to Anything yesterday with all sorts of goodies in it, including some more low-tack tape, because I can never put my finger on what I want. Right. Put some low-tack tape on the bottom of it, just to keep it in position. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to put it into the machine this way round, and I'm just going to roll over to about here and then come back. So I'll try and bring the machine in so you can see what's going on. Right. And now it's moved a little bit. Okay. Top plate. In we go. Part way and back. Right. Now I'm going to take the die off. Carefully. And I'm going to move it down so that make sure that those ridges, the cutting bits, are in the lines where it was cut before. Tape it down, and let's go the other way. There we are. Now we've got a much smaller, let's put that back out of the way. We've got a much smaller aperture than the die that cut it. Do you see? It's just a lot smaller. So I've got my aperture for this is going to be my cave, and the idea in my head for the rocks is to kind of just put them around the edge, you know, have a little bit to go in and over the edge, and then this little chap is going to go over the top. We'll see. Don't know how it's going to go. So I thought to myself, what can I do for rocks? And I had the bright idea, thought it was bright, of using a bit of funky foam. It's just thin foam. And here's some I've cut out. And what I did, I put some double-sided tape on the back, so that all I have to do when I come to stick them down is to peel off the backing and stick them onto the card. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we'll just see. Let's have a look. So peel off the backing. This is a join here of 2 bits, so it's a bit tricky there. That's right. Here we go. Let's get the rest of this off. Oh, this is because there's kind of embossing in these dies. They're kind of, you could pull them apart, I guess, and make lots smaller ones. That's quite a good idea, actually. In fact, why don't I do that? That is such a good idea. Let's just cut this one up. Ah, these are so clever, these things, I have to say. Let me just... start putting these on around the aperture. I don't want to put those there, I don't lose those. Let's put some of these on. They look quite good in this funky foam. I don't know what is it fun foam, funky foam? I don't know what you call it. This one missed the backing, so I just put a little bit of double-sided tape on the back if I can get it to stick. This is the strong stuff that I use when I'm making boxes, actually. I think for the majority, well, the rest of the Advent days, I'm going to be taking a look, because I think a lot of time is spent messing about, wondering what I'm going to... Oh, that hasn't worked. Let me put some just ordinary glue on it. What should I use? Let's use the big fat job. No, I'll use some of this. This is just PVA. A bit of white glue. It's going to take a bit of time anyway, even though I knew what it was. So, stick these around I might cut this one up as well. This is one of those big ones, just to make it go a bit further. Yeah. I plan on putting a dark piece of grey or something in behind this panel, just so that it looks like it's the depths of the cave inside. So I'm going to have to cut some more, I think. Oh, didn't quite intend that, but never mind, it'll be fine. There we go. Another one here. Cut this chap. I guess you could use them for crazy paving if you want to. I think my husband's suggestion wasn't a bad one, really. But I looked to see if I'd got any Gummiapan creatures that would go with the rocks and stuff, and I just couldn't think that I'd got anything. So that's why I thought of a dinosaur. Don't know where he came from. Right, there's the entrance to my cave. Didn't know I was going to have enough of those. Where's a bit of grey? I've got a bit of grey out somewhere. Here we go. Put that behind. I think I'm going to emboss this just to make it, you know, not quite so uninteresting. Here's the box. Oh. Embossing folders. Right, now that's the one I've had recently. I used that for something else, and I think that would do quite nice. It's like ice or something. So these are my plain embossing folders, just regular, non-3Ds. Those are a couple of Fiskars, and that's how I keep those. I've got some 3D ones in a drawer behind me. Practically everything in this room is within touching distance. Now, there is my piece of... What did I do? I got one out. Have I put it away again? Oh, Lord. How stupid can you get? Is it there? What did I do with it? I quite like that one as well. What did I do with this wretched... Did I put it away? Oh, for goodness sake. Found... Oh, it's there. Stupid. Couldn't see for looking. Oh, my Lord. Right, let's put this in here and emboss it. There we go. Oh. I don't know which side we like. That would do. I think I might have it there. Anyway, we'll see about that in a minute. Next thing, let me put these little dies on the magnetic sheet so I don't lose my rocks. Is to do the dinosaur. I don't know if these were free or I don't know where they came from. I forget these things. So I'm just going to cut out a dinosaur. I think he's a Stegosaurus, isn't he? I think he's a Stegosaurus. Right. Now, while he's still in the die, I'm going to put a little piece of tape over the back of his eye because I'm likely to lose it and he won't look so good without an eye, I'm sure. So I've got I don't know where the very skinny stuff is. Got a very little bit of tape, double-sided actually. Put it on the back just to hold that eye in. Right. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I want to, because he's got holes in, I can emboss him and those shapes will stick up through the die cut and give a little bit of relief. So, rubber mat, die, embossing plate, and through we go. Right, here we are. Here's my little dinosaur. Now, I had another idea as I was just cutting him out, that I could get a bit of relief on him, not only with, you know, the size of him, but the texture of him. Here I have got an embossing pen. It's kind of like Versamark in a pen. So it's actually made by Zig, which is the same company as my little blue glue pen, this one. It's the same company as that, Zig. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some embossing ink through the die onto all these bits. The bits that are now sticking up because I've embossed them. So, it doesn't always work terribly well. It doesn't work as effectively as like using proper Versamark in on a piece of card, but it's kind of all right-ish. So now what I want to do is to emboss that, and I thought I've got some copper and I've got some pepper. Let me do the copper, I think. So this is a bit of Wow copper embossing powder. Put that over there. I'll put this back before I do any more blowing, I think, because I don't want to blow this everywhere. Oh dear. Has been known, I have to say. Right, here we are. Put the lid on this. Doesn't matter if there's bits around it, because I'm going to do something with the rest of him in a minute. Okay, now I'm going to heat it. There's the knobbly bits on his body. Now what I want to do is to paint the rest, and I want to use, what have I got here? Copper green. This is Luscious powder from Indigo Blue, and I want to paint it on. So I've got my palette here. I think that was the one. Let me just put a drop more water in. Oh, it's getting a bit low. I don't want to come out. That's probably enough. Doesn't really need very much at all. Right, powder and into the water. Actually, I've got some water here. Let's have a bit of this. Right, now let me paint over the top of this. I'm not going to bother about if I paint over his eye, because I've got a jelly roll pen that I can put the white back in and then put a little black dot or whatever over the top of that, because I don't know, they don't look vital unless you can see the white of their eyes, do they really? Right, here we are. I don't know whether you get green stegosauri or stegosauruses or whatever the plural of stegosaurus is. Let's just move that in case I've got a bit there. That's fine. Okay, there's a cutie, isn't he? I'll just move this out of the way. Have this brush back a minute. There's a bit there. I'm just going to put the pot lid on and just dry him off a bit because we need to kind of get on a bit. It's been here forever. I thought this would be... Oh, you can't hear me. I thought this would make a decent birthday card for a child, you know? So now just a tiny drop of water on my Q-tip just to shine up, get the pigment powder off the top of the embossing. Bring that copper back. Oh, do you know, I mess around doing this kind of stuff for hours. It's silly, isn't it, really? But I find it fun. There we go. Yeah, we got a little dinosaur. Where's my... There's some white, and when that's dried up, I'll put a little bit of black on. So he's still a bit wet, but he will dry shortly. If I put him kind of there, I need some. I've taken a bit of the colour off there. I need to put that back on. Mess around, silly, isn't it? Okay, I'll put him to go into his cave and just put a happy birthday on. I thought it would be a nice happy birthday card for a child. I cut this down a bit. Yep, that's good. Horrible feeling then. I might be cutting off too much. There's some double-sided tape. Don't know why I cut that short, really. Here we go. Right, we stick this onto there. Which side did I like? I think it was that one. Okay. This tape is not terribly thick, and it's reasonably wide. This one, it's about 1 centimetre wide, I'd say. But it's not that high. So if you want to, you know, make sure that your card's not too fat to go through the mail, it's not bad to have. Right. He could do with going on another one just to give him a little bit of substance. He's a bit bendy at the minute. So if I put him onto just onto a plain bit of card, he should be okay. I'm sorry these things are going on like I don't know what, but don't need to emboss this chap because it's just going to be a back layer. Can't see my big fat pen anywhere. Where have I been with it? The eye's fallen out of this one as well. So easily done. But I don't need it because the one in front's got an eye, so that's fine. In the ordinary way, I would leave this to dry a bit more to make sure I don't mess up the pigment powder. I think he needs one more as well, just for luck. And then I would just probably either die cut or stamp a sentiment, happy birthday, and put that at the top, probably. But as always, I'll just move this out of the way so in case you can see. Oh, I've zoomed out again, haven't I? Oh, Lord, let me come in. This watch is the bane of my life. I love it really, but my goodness, I don't know when it went out. Do they call it the crown? It's only got to touch my hand. Should wear it further up my wrist, really. It's only got to touch my hand and I'm zooming all over the place. I don't know. Right. Couldn't see anything then, could you? I should take more care. But when I'm trying to do one thing, I'm not brilliant at watching technology and card making at the same time. Right. Here you are, Mr. Stegosaurus. I don't know, Gummiapan may well do something, I'm not sure actually. Now he needs a little bit of foam tape behind this part of him and the front part, a bit of adhesive just to stick him to the edge of the cave. See how we go. Right. A bit over there, like that. And a bit of foam tape on the back end of him. Just there, that should do him. There we go. Now he's sitting fairly straight. Now to put the rest of it onto the card base, which if I remember correctly, I put behind me. So I'll put some more adhesive on here, over there, across the middle. Whip off the rest. I don't know if I like this card at all, really, but, you know, we're trying. No, what I was saying was, when I was trying to clear a space, I have got my Instagram address there, because often when I make a video like this, you can't actually see a close-up of the finished card. So I tend to put lots of my cards onto Instagram, so you could pop over there and see what the finished one actually looks like. So here is the old dinosaur. Now this is not the right width, this space. I'm going to have to cut a bit off the side. I like to have the same proportion of leftover card all the way around. So I've put it on 3 sides. I'm just going to tidy up the right hand side. And then all remains for me is to say, as ever was, thank you so much for watching. Here we are. A bit better. I think I might have to do it again. But there's our little dinosaur about to go into his cave, and I think a happy birthday could go here or there, or I think a little one just there maybe. So if you go over to Instagram a little while later, you'll probably be able to see what happened to the card. Thanks so much.